Well, I made it. I'm at Anzac Cove, which is actually the official name of a place just beyond that ridge over there. And here is the northern part of the beach where the first 36 boats landed back in 1915. Probably didn't look much different. Of course, there was no road going through. All the landmarks are here. There's all the hills that the troops would have had to climb. So that's the main plateau up there, which they fought from about 4:30 in the morning to get. That one up there is known as the Sphinx, obviously because it looks like the Sphinx. And the British forces were a bit further south, about 5 or 6 km, at a place called Hellas Beach. That's Suvla Bay, it's just over there. So all these famous places really close to each other. I've seen them all in about the space of an hour on the bike. And the whole area is basically just one massive cemetery. I mean, officially, I didn't expect this, but there's a lot of different little cemeteries, like the Beach Cemetery, Lone Pine Cemetery, Hellas Beach, Shrapnel Cemetery. There's dozens more, officially looked after by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. But there's so many thousands of people here which they weren't even able to identify the bodies, and there's more buried under here. I'm probably standing on, you know, corpses that were just, you know, never recovered. Over there you can see they've got some nice memorial plaques, and they tell a good story about you know, the invasion in a way that, you know, is good to read from both an Australian and a Turkish perspective. You got to remember, here I am wearing an Australian flag around this area on my head, and this is a country that we tried to invade, you know, not less than 100 years ago. But, as you know, my grandfather always said, the Turkish weren't bad people. The men were very much like the Australians. You know, apart from the fact that you were trying to kill each other, they were a lot like us. They were good men, and they fought well too. The Anzacs had a very good reputation, and so did the Turkish fighters, and they got along quite well. When you think about it, it was the Japanese that my grandfather never liked. But yeah, here we are. This is an interesting place. It's pretty much what I expected. I mean, you see a lot of, you know, Gallipoli history movies and things, and you can just imagine the boats, you know, the rowing boats, the first 36 of them at like 4:30 in the morning, charging to shore here, and a very heavily fortified Turkish position just firing down from these mountains. And the Anzacs, to their credit, they got up to the top of that ridge there and they held it, and they gained something like about 2 kilometers on the line during the campaign, but that was about it. The Dardanelles campaign was overall a failure, with the exception of the evacuation. 240 odd days into the campaign, they evacuated, and there was not one casualty. Well, I think there were 2, but they weren't really directly, you know, battle related. That's pretty good. There's some horrible statistics in the war. You know, one counter-offensive alone from the Turks, and they sent men over the lines into the Australians, and the Anzacs repelled the invasion, or the attack. 10,000 Turkish men shot, 3,000 killed, and the Anzacs, you know, held the line with only like 460 casualties and 160 dead. That's amazing when you think about it. But we did stupid things as well. You know, 4 waves of the AIF getting wiped out, you know, massacred by machine guns trying to capture positions which were never going to be captured. And you know, it took half a year before the British, you know, the Imperial forces realised that it wasn't going to happen. It's a bit of a shame that so many lives were wasted here. Anyway, here we are, Anzac Cove. And I highly recommend this as a visit to anybody, any Australian. All Australians should come here. You know, it's not like we don't know what Anzac Day is about back at home. It's one of our most proud days. But to be here on the soil where it actually forge the legend, forge the tradition. Like some of us. It's been a good day. Anyway, I'm off to Gallipoli town, finish up campsite for the night, and head over to Istanbul in the next few days. Then I'll report back from there. Okay, foreign correspondent out.